I'm starting today's card by stamping this cute witchcrafting scene from Trinity Stamps. It's meant for Halloween, but I'm going to color it as a Galentine's card. I'm stamping it a couple of times because it's easy with the Misty, but also because the coordinating die set cuts out the witch. My plan is to pop her out. I'm also stamping a couple of accessories from the stamp set, although I only end up using the kitty. The ink I'm using is alcohol marker friendly because I'm going to use my Ohuhu alcohol markers today. The cardstock is Hammermill. I have put one of the stamp impressions on a piece of laminated paper so I don't stain my white craft mat with the alcohol markers. I'm starting with the walls using R14 for some of the exposed rocks. The marker codes will be in the top left corner. You can also download a table on my blog at valley-oak-paper.com. This video is part of a video haul. The theme is celebrating friendship. I'll add a card in the top right corner if you want to check out the playlist. Links to the individual videos are also down in the description. Let me know if you want to participate next month. I'll put on some music now while I continue to color. here I'm checking exactly what the die cuts out. In addition to our little witch, it cuts out the table with 2 windows that show the floor underneath it, as well as the broom. The part I'm working on right now is going to be the background. I'm mostly done with the background now. It certainly doesn't look like a Halloween card. The colors I'm using come from the color cube. It's palette 39 and volume 1. I searched on Romantic to find this palette. Now I'm moving on to another stamp impression to color the witch, the table, and the broom. The first thing I'm coloring is the very large witchy hat. It's going to be pink. This time I chose 4 markers for the 3 reddish tones in palette 39. That makes it possible to have lighter and darker tones of a color. That worked really well in this card, so I'm going to do that again for the colors I want to feature in the next card. I felt that the tabletop was too similar to the walls and also too colorful, so I'm toning it down with the same markers I used for the hair. I'm also toning down the broom bristles. To avoid a white outline around the popped up main character, I'm coloring the floor around the die cut with BR2 Potato Brown. I'm checking with the die to see what else I need to color in. Then I color in the walls with the same colors as I used before. I'm coloring the kitty with dark gray markers. And R12 for the inside of the ears. Here I'm comparing the colored background with the colored foreground to determine the colors for the rocks that need to be colored. The rock behind the broom is pink, and so is the one behind the shelf. One or two others are red. Next, I'm cutting out our little witch with the coordinating die. Then I'm placing her on the background to see what it will look like. This is when I realize that if I pop the die cut up on foam tape, I'll have a white shadow underneath. So I quickly fill in the outline of the witch on the background image. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to roughly match the foreground color. Time to assemble my card. I have a note card and an A2 panel that I dry embossed with Spellbinder's Tiny Heart Scallops 3D embossing folder. Here's the background image with a layer of accent opaque behind for stability. I cut it down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Here's the main character and the kitty with foam tape on the backs. I cut out the stamped sentiment, but I felt that it got lost, so I created a second sentiment that I heat embossed in gold. I'm starting by adhering the dry embossed background to the front of my note card. While that dries, I'm gluing the heat embossed sentiment to the stamped one. I've already added foam tape to the back of the main character, but some of the edges are white, so I'm coloring them with alcohol markers. Then I remove the wreath paper from the foam tape and add glue to it. And finally, I place it on the background. There's foam tape and glue on the back of my panel, so now I can center it on the front of my embossed note card. Next, I pop up the sentiment at the top of the image. And then I add the sleeping kitty to the lower right corner. I also add some white to highlight the shiny things and tone down the cobwebs in the corners. And here is the finished card. I think the little witch with her familiar is super cute. With these fun colors, this card isn't the least bit scary. Do you like using Halloween stamps for Valentine's Day? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out my card making friends' take on celebrating friendship. The links to their videos are in the description. That's all for today. I'll see you soon.